All right, everybody, let's try this again. I want to pick right back up where we left off. All right, I think the sound is better now. My apologies, and especially my apologies to Rabbi Friedman. We are going to pick right back up where we left off, and I am playing his video, 3 Tips for Women Only. I'm going to share my screen and play the video and then give you all my feedback. I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. I make food and femininity content. All right? Let me pull it up. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you for your patience. Let's see, is this it?
If you haven't done anything
All right, let me share for y'all.
to improve your marriage lately,
I mean improve, not just continue and maintain, but improve. Bring a little something new into the relationship. Today would be a good day to do that. Today being the day you're seeing this, whatever day that might be. There are 3 things a wife can do to make the marriage, the relationship better on her own, without discussing it, without sharing it, without getting an agreement, unilaterally. Number 1, never reject even the slightest favor or service that a husband offers. Whatever it is, the smallest gesture should be encouraged, because a man thrives on giving. When you accept what he gives, you make him feel like a man, no matter what it is. To be demanding or critical of what he's offering discourages him from offering. And then you wonder what happened to the marriage. So husbands are always trying to serve, to help, to be useful, to contribute. Don't discourage it. It may not be exactly what you need from him at that moment, but every time he gives, your job is to receive. You have to say, Roger, I think, right? I got the message. I heard it. I accepted it. It was received. If you do that, you encourage more giving. There's a story about the first Lubavitcher Rebbe.
I can't wait, y'all. I just gotta hop in here. We're gonna continue on. First of all, let me say thank you so much to Suave D. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you for being so consistent. And he says, "Good morning, Maggie. I appreciate your insight and calm, soothing voice." Thank you. I appreciate the compliment as well. And let me just say, I love when you all compliment my speaking voice, because 2 reasons. And not to be boastful, but I've worked really hard on my speech. This is an area that I've struggled with. I used to be just loud and just kind of a little bit all over the place, and I worked really hard on my elegance journey to make sure that I communicate well and effectively, and the meaning and the message lands without, you all know, all the extra stuff. So thank you for saying that, because that means that the work is working. So I appreciate that. And if I'm being honest with you all, I mean, we all have things we're a little bit self-conscious about. As I've aged, I'll be 50 next year, my voice has gotten deeper. And sometimes when I hear it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's kind of deep and raspy now. And I'm a little bit embarrassed about that, but that's my natural speaking voice, especially when I lower my volume and slow down. Because I used to talk like this and just be That used to be me. And so I have learned an elegant woman is not rushed, and an elegant woman does not shout. So in speaking in my natural tone, this is my voice. So thank you. That really means a lot to me. Okay, Jessica is here with the hearts. Thank you so much. Swap says it's all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We had a comment over on Instagram from the gram of Mrs. JC Smith. She says the rabbi is very wise and so popular on YouTube now. Yes. And I appreciate you all so much for listening to wisdom wherever it is found. I had to redo my stream, but I really believe that the older women should teach the young. And if you think about it, back in the past, the way we all grew up, hopefully, is that, you know, the dads would teach the sons. That's why I say I really don't have a place to speak to men. I know we have men in the community, and I appreciate you all so much for protecting and keeping this a safe space. But the older women would teach the young. That's what my mom did for me. That's what the aunties do. That's how we should be sharing how you succeed, by being honest about what we've done right and what we've done wrong. In modern times, we kind of lost our ways and people are figuring it out on their own. And I think that's why we're in the mess that we're in. But Rabbi Manis Friedman, who asked me to react to this video, he came up in my feed, I think on YouTube, and I had never heard of him before, never seen him before, but you all know how the algorithm works. The more you consume of something, the more the system is going to send it your way. Ladies, that could be a good or a bad thing. So if you like the ratchet stuff, if you like the crazy stuff, it's going to continue to feed it to you. I had to intentionally turn away from gossip shows and all of that, and really, as trying to be better, what I consume, not only physically, but what I listen to and watch has to be better too. So the rabbi landed in my feed, and Lucy and I did a reaction to him, and he saw it and he shared it and asked me to react to this one. And although we are of different faiths, my intention of sharing his content and any other content that we can learn from in these modern times, as wonderful as it is, with all of these conveniences that we have, this is a new way of doing everything that I don't think, when it comes to relationships, is going to last the test of time. Women are masculine, men are kind of giving up on marriage. It's just, everybody's going their own way. But if you want something that will last, I think we can all learn from the people that have been doing this for hundreds and thousands of years, whoever they are, wherever they are. So thank you all for being open. Okay, so now finally, after my soliloquy, let's talk about this point number one, and he hasn't finished yet. Ladies, we have to receive and we have to show appreciation. When the rabbi says that we need to show gratitude, really what it is, gratitude and appreciation for every effort that a man makes. It is so important to the core and the soul of a man that their life means something, that their efforts mean something, that the work that they do means something. And as a mother, I see this in the boys. If you all think about it, if your moms, I remember when the boys were little, they would go pick flowers and they would come and give them to me. I got these for you, mommy. And of course, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, they're beautiful, even if they're like roots hanging on and hanging off the side. But the way that they light up when you show appreciation, and ladies, that stays with men throughout their life. And if you think about a man's life, how challenging it is, there's always a problem to solve. There's always somebody needs something. There's always, you know, someone complaining. My man told me that when you become a high value man, for the rest of your life is not about you. And I would say, even just as a man, especially once he's become something, people see that and they want to pick your brain, ask a favor, you know, they may need money, whatever it is. So if we can be the one source where it's like, thank you, I appreciate that. What that does, and if you listen to the rabbi, he said that makes them want to give more. And this is where a lot of modern women mess up. Shout out to the Cheesecake Factory. If you poo-poo on the small things, if you shut down the small things, if you act like it has to be something grand for it to get your attention, you've already lost. You will find yourself alone. Because also, ladies, men will test us and show, do we only act right when we're getting the trips and the trinkets, or can we appreciate the small things? I love, my man is, a VP for a big company, but he's also really handy. And yes, I have a handyman, but I had just said my air conditioning thermostat thing, the buttons were sticking, and I just kind of mentioned to him the next time he came over, he brought two of them, one for downstairs, one for upstairs, and was twisting stuff and drilling holes and doing all this stuff, and there's an app for it, and you can talk to the Alexa and it comes on and all this stuff. And I was like, this is amazing, thank you. You made life easier for me. Men are problem solvers. So again, he's talking about 3 tips for women. If you want a real relationship, if you want to be successful in your marriage, show appreciation. And like he said, even if it's not perfect, even if he doesn't do the dishes or change the diaper or whatever the way you would, show appreciation. All right, let's go back into the rabbi.
200 years ago, he was collecting charity for ransoming people who had been arrested by their landowner, who were in dungeons, and the only way to get them out is by ransoming them. So he collected money for that. He came to a town and he asked for a list of all the wealthy members. There was one very wealthy man who was not on the list. And the Rebbe inquired, why wasn't this man's name on the list? And they told him, this man is very wealthy, but he's also very stingy. He never gives. In fact, he has this nasty habit. He has this one coin, a 10-cent piece or whatever. Any request, no matter what the need is, he offers that coin. And people refuse it. It's embarrassing, it's insulting. The Rebbe says, let's go to his house first. Reluctantly, they went. And of course, the Rebbe presented the need, the great, desperate need. The man offered the coin. The Rebbe took it, thanked him, blessed him, and walked out the door. The man chased after the Rebbe and said, wait, I can do better. And he gave some more. The Rebbe thanked him and blessed him, and again got up to leave. And the man said, wait, I think I can do better than that. And he gave a really generous donation. When they left, the people, the Rebbe, who were accompanying the Rebbe, said, you truly are a miracle worker. That was a miracle. And the Rebbe said, no, it's not a miracle. No one ever gave him the opportunity to feel the pleasure, experience the pleasure of giving, because they always threw the coin back at him. All I did was thank him for his donation. And it felt really good. So he said, wait, I can get into this. I can enjoy giving. That's a very good example for what we do in a marriage. If you accept the little donations, you encourage greater donations. If you reject the little ones, then giving doesn't feel good anymore. So if you reject what your husband wants to give, tries to give, and gives, you're really discouraging his role as a man, his role as a husband. So be careful. Accept every effort, every gesture, every time he gives something of himself, even little things like opening a door. Notice. Pay attention. That can change the entire dynamic of the relationship. Number two, of course.
All right, let's get in here. I absolutely love this. Yes, so much wisdom. And see, Irving is saying so true, Maggie. So again, if you all want to join the conversation, feel free to in the chat. So I love this story about a man who was wealthy but had a reputation for being stingy. And ladies, this is an opportunity for you to earn the things that you want, but the key word is earn. So two takeaways for me here on this one. So in the story, like the rabbi said, there was this very wealthy man, but he gave a small amount anytime a donation was requested, and people were offended by his donation. They refused it. Ladies, do not ever refuse a small gesture. Show appreciation. I tell the ladies that I talk to, you either accept with grace or you exit with grace. If he's not the man for you, fine, but do not shut down his efforts. So the man is giving a small donation. People are refusing it. So he has this reputation for being the stingy man in town. Until someone comes and requests a donation and gets that same small amount and shows appreciation for it. And did you notice that it ended there? As far as the recipient, he said thank you, he gave a blessing, and got up to leave. So he was grateful for the initial gift. However, the giver, something came up in him that said, no, I can do better. Ladies, think about it. If not for your man, hopefully for your man, but if not for your man or your children, think about a time when you've done something for someone. Oh, thank you so much, Suave D. Think about a time that you've done something for someone and they're just like, this is amazing, even if it's small. I shared this story in one of my coaching sessions, and I'll share it with you all. I don't know how many jobs ago, and I work in tech, I just work from home, but long time ago, I was in a mentoring program, this company that I worked for, and they automatically paired us with people. Now, you all know Maggie, team extrovert, and I was paired with a man who is a Marine. He was coming out of the Marines and going into an executive role. So I'm kind of a newbie, and he is, Mr. Serious. Full circle moment, if you all know, our son, our oldest, is going to enlist with the Marines. And we were just talking, and I was, learning from him, the corporate space. I'm sure they paired him with me, for the soft skills. And he was just talking. And we were talking about food, because you all know with me, everything almost always devolves into snacks. And he said one of his favorite snacks was to get a container of peanut butter, a spoon, scoop out some peanut butter from the spoon, get a bag of chocolate chips, stick the peanut butter spoon in the chocolate chips, and then eat it off the spoon. Just peanut butter and chocolate chips. And we were just talking, and I remember him saying that, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Didn't think anything of it. The next time I'm out grocery shopping or doing whatever, because I would meet with my mentor once a month, I went ahead and just grabbed a container of disposable spoons, a bag of chocolate chips, little mini chocolate chips, and a container of peanut butter, put it in a little gift bag, $5, maybe $5. And the next time I went in to meet with him, I said, I brought something for you. And ladies, when I tell you this Marine, my mentor, was speechless. He stared at this gift, opened it, and saw the peanut butter and the chocolate chips and the spoon, and told me, this is the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me. I was floored. I felt elated, but also very sad for him. But hopefully Ladies, that gives you an insight into how much men suffer in silence, how much they go unheard, unappreciated, unremembered, if that's a word. It cost me $5 maybe. I was already in the grocery store, but it showed appreciation. To him, I was listening to what he said and I remembered it. And the way he was so grateful, he still talks about that to this day. We're still connected on LinkedIn. So that's just a little bit of story time, ladies. My point is that in this story, because someone appreciated the coin that the giver gave and was ready to walk away with that, he said, no, I can do better. And he turned around and gave another donation on top of the first donation. And the recipient said, thank you so much, gave the blessing, and turned to walk away. And the giver a third time said, no, I can do better, and gave the enormous donation. The enormous donation that everybody wanted him to do in the beginning, he did when he felt appreciation. So what is the lesson here, ladies? I see this in a lot of women who are either young or young in relationships. You have not earned it yet. A lot of women see people who have been in long-term relationships like myself or married for a long time, and they say, I want to go on that kind of trip. I want to have that kind of ring. I want to live in that kind of house. You haven't even been together 4 or 6 months, and you're expecting a man to treat you like a woman who's been dedicated for 20 years and raised his children. You have not earned it yet. So wait and show appreciation. All right. Gilchrist says, bless God, I taught my children this. Thank you, Lord. Yes, and amen. Irving loves the cooking videos. Thank you all so much. And thank you again, Suave D, for the $5. All right. Let me see what you all are saying on TikTok and Instagram. Everybody is good. All right, let's go back in. So that was point number 1. So the rabbi is going to give us 2 more. Let's go back in and see what number 2 is.
Which is true of every relationship, is the respect. No one wants to come home to a wife that he knows does not respect him. Nobody wants to walk into a room where they can predict and expect criticism. No one willingly puts himself through that. So a husband who comes home to a wife who doesn't respect him is living in misery. Dreads coming home. So one of the things to consider is, how do you greet your husband? What do you say when he walks in the door? You haven't seen him all day. Now he walks in the door. What happens? Those moments are crucial. Does he receive a welcome when he comes home? Anybody excited to see him come home? This is devastatingly important. How you greet your husband can change the entire dynamic in the home. Something like, in anticipation of his coming home, do you dress up or dress down? Are you in your house coat? Are you in a kerchief on your head because your hair is not combed out? A little effort to show him that you anticipate his arrival as a pleasant experience, not an awful, necessary discomfort. And in general, maintaining a good appearance, which is an effort, but it's worth it, because you give your husband not only something pretty to look at, but you're showing that you that you're thriving by being his wife, that being his wife has improved your life, has improved your personality, your mood. Husband who comes home to a wife always in a down mood, it drags everyone down. Same is true actually for children also. Children come home from school and you're in a bad mood. This is a disaster, because those first moments set the tone for the relationship. Your child walks in the room and you're annoyed. Don't put your things down there. Why are you making so much noise? Why are you late? Nobody wants to come home to that. If it happens later in the day, it's not as terrible. But as first reaction, got to be careful. The other very important.
All right, I want to jump in here. I don't know if he's on his way to number 3, but ladies, that first greeting of your man, of your husband, even of your children, this is where your femininity shines. A lot of women struggle in this space because, maybe you're part of the workforce and that's fine, but you're not a machine. You're not a robot. I always say we are not equal. We are equally valued. And I think our differences are beautiful. Think about someone in your past, in your family. The holidays are coming up. Think about that treasured loved one that when they see you, there's no denying it. There's no denying it. They're happy. I remember when the boys were little and then we would fly to see the grandparents. Marcus would run through the airport as soon as he saw, Papa. Do you have the experience of seeing someone light up just because you've arrived? Ladies, that is what we owe our husbands. That is what we owe our men. Again, what I said in point number 1 about a man's day is hard. My man tells me all the time, I don't know why women think that we're out here just loving life and it's some big boys club and everything is fun all day. It is hard. And a lot of women who have put themselves in the breadwinner or manly position in the relationship, you figure out like I did, I hate it here. So showing appreciation for that, when a man goes out and slays the dragon and kills the giant and brings home the kill, light up and greet him warmly. I'll give you all some tangible tips as to what I do. So I'm in a long-term relationship since my divorce. My man sat me down and said, you have to finish what you start. He does not want a blended family. I have to respect that. So we do not live together, and I've never lived with anyone I wasn't married to. I was married for 10 years, married at 25. When my man is coming over, I make sure that I am presentable. I want to give him my best. I dress up every day. I have a very simple routine, but I dress up from head to toe every day, always put myself together because I am presentable. I am somebody's mother. I am somebody's daughter. I'm somebody's sister. I work. I just think that is part of your daily routine. But I always make sure that I'm fresh. I always make sure that I smell good. I always make sure that I'm wearing what he likes to see, which is, flowery 1950s dresses. I put effort into my appearance for myself, but yes, also for him. And so ladies, if you're getting a visceral reaction to this and you're like, I wear what I want to, no man can tell me what to wear, fine. Be by yourself. It's totally fine. Nobody is going to fight you. But I'll give you a secret. A man loves it. Shout out to the peanut butter and the chocolate chips. And that wasn't even my man. But a man loves it when he compliments something and then you continue to do more of that. It shows that you value his opinion. It shows that you heard him. One of the biggest compliments that I get from my man and other men is that, Maggie, you listen really well and you take feedback really well. That's important, ladies. So When he comes through the door, if I'm cooking or if I'm doing whatever, I stop and I go to greet him. Do you greet your man with a warm hug, with a kiss, with, hey, your plate is ready, everything is, setting up, go ahead and refresh? Ladies, do you even know your man's daily routine? Do you know how he likes to unwind and decompress? Are you studying him, or are you so wrapped up in your own world that everything is about you? So yes, I make sure that I am prepared for him, that I greet him, and that I light up. Same thing, if you don't have a man, you don't want a man, fine. Do that for your children. There is nothing like a mother's love. There's nothing like a woman's love. That again is where our femininity can shine. And yes, I have a course. If you don't know where to begin, we are teaching wife lessons in November. Go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com and get $50 off with code Maggie. But in all seriousness, ladies, this should come natural to you. This is how we are built. My man said, Maggie, tell the ladies, you're already feminine. You just have to stop fighting it. All right. So let's see what you all are saying in the chat. If you're interested, again, you can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. We will teach it live, and it's going to be 4 weeks in November. All right. Let's see what you all are saying. Oh, goodness. All right. Thank you, Irving. I appreciate that. Inspired One says, just joining. I love your perspective regarding men and women relationships. Thank you. I'm glad this is helpful. Irving says, yes, I'm doing 3 jobs for the betterment of me and my partner. See, ladies, look at how our femininity and our appreciation can inspire your man. Now, a man has to be able to take care of himself, and he has to get there on his own, yes. But ladies, you don't know how your femininity is rocket fuel for a man. When he has a good woman encouraging him, not nagging him to death, not henpecking him, but encouraging him and saying, you can do this, I know, I believe in you, absolutely, I'm not surprised at all. It does wonders, and it makes them want to go out and hit it even harder. Gilchrist says you shared this teaching. Thank you all for sharing. I appreciate that. Hello, Latoya is in the chat. Inspired One says, I will walk through a wall of fire for the right woman. Oh, I love that. I love that. And ladies, this is so rare. So again, when you find a man who still is willing to put up with all of our emotional chaos, but if you are a good woman to a good man, there's nothing better. Nothing better. That's what you really want. Or not. That's fine if you want to be alone. And Irving is agreeing. So you hear it from the men. Suave D says, me too. There's nothing I wouldn't do for a feminine, cooperative lady. Women don't understand how powerful their femininity truly is. Ladies, and that's true. If you got caught up in the boss babe or the bad bee culture, believe me, take it from a former modern woman. I got a lot of accolades on paper, former executive for the Coca-Cola company. Great job. You couldn't tell me anything. I was miserable because I put myself in that position until I met a man that I was like, wow, I'm not ready for this. What do I need to do? So I got on the program quickly because I had the right foundation. I believed the lie. But second time around, I got on the program, and I'm happier than I have ever been. All right, let's see what you all are saying over on Instagram. Everybody's good. All right, let's go back into the Rabbi.
Important, a very practical thing. Mealtime has to be sacred time. When you're sitting at a meal at a table, there cannot be criticism. There can't be sarcasm. There can't be any put downs. The table has to be a place where everyone feels safe. You will never be insulted at the table. You will never be criticized at the table. You will never be rejected at the table. When a family eats, that is such a bonding moment. And to ruin that, never. So, when a person comes in the room or in the house after not seeing each other for a while, and at the table, those are moments you have to really be careful. They got to be positive. They have to be welcoming. You have to feel safe. A child comes home, he shouldn't be cringing. He shouldn't be on the defensive. He shouldn't be expecting an angry or impatient reception. A husband should not expect to be met with criticism, with complaints, certainly not with rejection. You want to hurt his feelings, do it later, not first thing when he walks in. And it's a subtle thing. Even if you don't say anything, it's just a look on your face. So if you have to fake it, you may do so. Sometimes consideration is more important than honesty. The third thing.
All right, I want to hop in here before we get to the last one. So again, we are reviewing Rabbi Friedman, his 3 tips for women only. So respecting the relationship. So ladies, we talked about how you feel when someone lights up to see you. And this is the feeling that we want to give our men, our husbands, your children. You also know that dread that you feel. We've all experienced it, whether it's going to that relative's house, whether it's going to a job that you don't like, whether it's going into the post office or a retail place during the holidays that you absolutely hate it. You know that feeling when you dread having to go somewhere and you're gritting your teeth because you have to do it. Imagine that being the feeling that your husband has coming home because you refuse to fix your face, because you refused to show appreciation, because you refuse to greet him warmly. Ladies, this is low-hanging fruit. This is something you can change immediately, and it won't cost you anything. And if you heard the rabbi, he said, if you want to hurt his feelings, do it later. In jest, okay? There is a way to have any conversation. There is a way to request for something. There is a way to say, I really didn't like when this happened. If you don't know how to communicate, especially ladies, communicating with a man is very different from how we communicate as women. I do have a free bonus in my course where I was asked to speak at a marriage conference, and I went into depth on how you can communicate better with your husband, because that's so important. This is somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with and talk to every day, hopefully. Do you know how to have the right tone with him? Do you know how to have the right timing with him? Do you know how to get to the point and not drone on and on and on? Ladies, this is a skill, meaning if you don't have that skill, you can perfect that skill. You can work on it. You need the tools to do that. Again, it's a free bonus in the course. You can go to the website, teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. But I would say this, ladies, you definitely need to study your man and know when he responds to something well and when it is not a good time. My upbringing, like I've shared with you all, traditional immigrant family, my mother taught me without saying a word. Meaning, she cooked, my brother and I would come home from school, all the running around, doing all of that. If my dad came home later, and you know how kids are, Dad, leave your father alone. She knew that my dad needed to undress out of his work clothes, have a few moments to decompress. She would have his plate. He would sit at the same place at the table. If we were eating together as a family, that was fine. Maybe he came home later. She would serve his food. He would eat in peace. She would have me, Maggie, go get that, go refill that. Watch your father. She would teach me how to pay attention to a man. He's not just a walking block of, flesh with a wallet. He is a real human with feelings, with needs, with struggles, with fears, with concerns, with all of that. She showed me how to study. And then when he was done and he came to the living room and sat down and was ready for the onslaught of the family, that is what we did every day. That is what my mother taught me. So, ladies, if your mother did not teach you how to be a good woman for a good man, you are already behind. You don't want to give that man the feeling of, God, what is it going to be today? Another thing. That is a quick way to have him come home later and later, if not at all. Find reasons to avoid you, and eventually just leave or be there physically, but check out mentally, because men, like all of us, can only take so much, and men are only going to say it like my man told me, I'm going to tell you one time in a row and leave you to figure it out or not. So if you wonder why you got ghosted or you wonder why someone doesn't come around, ladies, ask yourself, what feedback were you given that you didn't respond to? How did he react to something and you just, he'll be all right? How many times did you discount his concerns and now you found yourself alone? All right, let's see what you all are saying in the chat, then we'll listen to number 3 and wrap it up. Irving says, I like that. A safe space is not just one-way traffic. Absolutely. And ladies, men are not going to open up and, pour out their feelings every day. They're not women. Look at our rabbi, our favorite rabbi. He is as stoic and masculine as they come, a man of few words. But when you understand that men choose their words very carefully because they know their words have consequence and they are weighted with intention. Men think first and then respond. We women, and I've had to work on this, I used to speak as I was thinking and just words would come out. I've learned to think before I speak. And ladies, you can too. Hello, Auntie Jenny. And C. Irving says it's true. Okay, wonderful. You all are doing well. On Instagram, Mrs. Grace says it's cultivating good character and fake it until you make it. Yes, ladies, this is not about being disingenuous, but this is about, if something is bothering you, here's a cheat code. Make sure he is as comfortable as possible before you ask, is now a good time to talk about this? So make sure he's rested, make sure he's not hangry, make sure he doesn't have other things on his mind. Make sure he is taken care of. That's how you get what you need. Or you can have it your way. All right, let's go back in and see what the rabbi has to say. But that's a little cheat code for you.
For every wife, for every relationship, is women need appreciation, men need admiration. You must have something that you admire in your husband. It can be as trivial as his height, his physical strength, or something more noble and more important, his patience, his wisdom, his maturity, his knowledge, his social skills. There must be something you admire, which means you look up to him for it because he has more than you do. If you feel that you're ahead of your husband on all fronts, and there's nothing he can do for you that you can't do for yourself, it's discouraging and emasculating. A man needs to feel like he's got something to give, something that you admire because you're not as good at it. If you admire 2 things or 3 things, you've got a really good relationship. If you don't admire, then think again. There must be something, because you didn't marry him by mistake. You saw something, and now it slipped away. Find it. Renew it. And develop not just a respect that every person has for everybody else, but a real admiration. And don't hesitate to say it. It wouldn't hurt. It can only make things better. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there's a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. These ideas, these messages, this approach to life, this approach to Torah, to meaning, and to morals is vital for the world today. And we need to get this message out to the entire world. It is universal, it's essential, it's indispensable. To support this effort, if you want to be a partner in this crime, check out the link and make a donation. It really helps a lot. And thank you in advance.
All right, everyone, I got to get Rabbi's book. I hope it's an audio book because I don't sit still very much. Let's talk about number 3. Ladies, do you admire your man? This one lights me up. I love so many things about my man, and I tell him that. I think in the modern world today, so many women have been brainwashed into thinking, whatever you can do, I can do better. So women compete with their men. Ask me how I know. You get a promotion, I'm going to get a promotion. You're a homeowner, I'm a homeowner. You've got, this luxury vehicle, I'll get a luxury vehicle. That is not the recipe for success in the long term. Ladies, we are not built to compete with men. But again, because our femininity is our superpower, if we can humble ourselves. And if you look at humility like it's a bad thing, if you look at humility like, he's supposed to be better at me in anything, you've already lost. Go ahead. I'm not going to say buy a dog and die alone, but I will say join the workforce and age alone. Have it your way. But there was something that attracted you to him. I'll tell you all mine. I love how decisive my man is. I'm a typical woman. I get very excited and I kind of run out of the stable. He tells me all the time, there you go running again. Do you know where you're running to? No. Do you know why you're running? No. You're just galloping. You'll be back. That's how he talks to me, y'all. But I need it. I appreciate how he can take information, make a decision. I struggle with that. I see a whole bunch of shiny new toys and I get excited and then I get overwhelmed. I can't even go to a restaurant and decide what I want on the menu. Maybe you all don't have that issue. I'm telling on myself here. I love how he makes decisions and I tell him that. Thank you. I love his perspective. When I'm struggling with something with the boys or whatever and I'll run it by him, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's nothing. This, and this. I love that he has perseverance. He can go 12 rounds where I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired. I give in. I tap out. No, I can't. I love that he's a problem solver. Ladies, the men that we want, the masculine men that we want, they are problem solvers. We bring problems, unfortunately. Like I said, my air conditioning unit was sticking. The next time he came over, he brought not one but two and installed them and set up the app and set up the Alexa. So what do you admire about your man? What do you appreciate about your husband? Can you learn anything from him? If so, tell him that. Don't keep it to yourself. It's not a knock on you by complimenting him, telling him, thank you. I didn't really know what to make of this information. I didn't really look at it that way. Thank you for your perspective. That's another cheat code. I did just finish Psych Hack's book and he did a Q&A and someone asked him how to be beneficial to or useful to, I forget the question, an older man. Ladies, if you are with a man 40 plus, the answer that Psych Hack said is ask him a question. Listen to his wisdom. Men want to impart their knowledge. That is what they work for. That is what their purpose is for, to impart it to their legacy, their sons and daughters. But also, men appreciate when you consider their counsel. So what can you learn from your man? And I'll just close with this. If you have the type of man that you are better at than everything, if you can't learn anything from him, if he can't do anything from you, if he can't do anything for you, if there is absolutely nothing that you look at him and say, wow, that is a quality that you have that I don't. Why are you with him? I know why you're with him, because it feeds your ego, which means you are not humble, which means you are not feminine. So if you do not care to be feminine, that's fine. Have it your way. You can be the man in the relationship and find someone to get on your program. But ladies, I'm telling you, if you have a man that you admire and respect, tell him. He is desperate to hear it. Our men do not get this type of feedback, and they are craving it and they need it. Listen to him and appreciate him. All right, let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Auntie Jenny had to silence the noises in her head. Jessica says, thank you so much for this gem. You are so welcome. Hello, Job Bless is here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if you all are saying anything on Instagram or TikTok. And then I have to head out. I have to go do some paperwork for Marcus for the military. And then I am on my way to the airport. So I will close with my announcements. First, let me say a huge thank you to Rabbi Friedman. He shared my stream. He asked me to react to this video. So hopefully the video and maybe even a little bit of my commentary was helpful. Sorry for the technical issues. I had some popping. I had to restart everything. So sorry for the audio issues. I'm going to pull down that struggle stream and get this one updated for you all. And of course, clip it up for you. So again, I've got some upcoming things if you all are interested. So I'm Maggie, the substitute teacher. I make food and femininity content. I do stream every day, but no stream tonight. I'm giving you guys something early. I'm on my way to Austin, Texas for another YouTube event. So stay tuned on all my socials. I'll be showing you all what I'm up to, something about Austin music city limits, and there's supposed to be a big music performer there. I don't know, y'all. I'm just happy to be here. So next month, starting November 2nd, we will have our wife archetypes class. So Lucy and I will be teaching 4 weeks of wife lessons. Gentlemen, you can enroll your lady as a gift. Go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com and there's a coupon code for you at the bottom. Use code WIFE. We're going to cover 4 weeks in a private class. It's going to be a Saturday school, Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. You will have lifetime access because it will be recorded, and you get my marriage speech as a bonus included. We're going to talk about what is marriage. So many women think, oh, it's a partnership, it's 50-50. It is not. Someone has to lead. And if you're not okay with that, fine. Maybe this isn't the class for you. We're going to talk about what a marriage is and what it isn't. We are going to talk about what is a husband. I counseled a lady yesterday, and she is now realizing how far she's become, how far she is, because she's been attracted to the thrill, dating the bad boys, thinking that she could turn one of those fun guys into a husband. Ladies, a husband is who he is. Do you know how to recognize that? Do you know what qualities to look for, or are you just attracted to the package? Yes, you need to be attracted, but a husband is not a guy. He's not a dude. He's not a bro. He's not any of that. He is a husband. Do you know what that is? Do you know what a wife is, ladies? Do you know? Do you feel the calling that you want to be a support system to the man of your dreams? I understand. Not everybody does, and that's fine. Have it your way. I understand that not everybody wants to be a mother. That's fine. But if you do have that biological imperative, I promise you, as you get older, that drumbeat is going to get stronger. I am so grateful. I was married at 25, and I feel like I beat the buzzer. I wanted to be closer to 20 than I was to 30. So ladies, if you want the type of relationship that's going to last, we're going to talk about what a wife is and what a wife isn't. Then we're going to talk about the 3 categories of husbands as Kevin Samuels broke it down. Hit squad, the young men right out of school, building themselves, getting their life in order, starting, stopping, trying things, failing. What does he need in a wife if he wants to marry? Then we're going to talk about the Henry, high earner, not rich yet. A man maybe in his 30s, maybe early 40s, where he's got about 10 years in the game. He knows what he's doing. He's on his purpose. He's on his path. What does he need in a wife? Then saving the best for last, because everybody wants to know, Maggie, how do you get a high value man? The answer is you don't. You are chosen. But what do high value men expect, and what do they require? And you can ask yourself if you have what it takes. We're going to cover all of that in our Wife Archetypes class, 4 weeks starting Saturday, November 2nd. All right, gentlemen, you can enroll your ladies as a gift and send the course to her. You'll get workbooks mailed to you and my marriage speech as a bonus. We've got the cruise coming up. We're going to have another Q&A. We're about 30 days out. If you all want to sail with us, it is not too late. We're having the second annual Maggie Meetup Cruise on Virgin Voyages. We're going to be leaving Wednesday, November 2nd, out of Miami, 18 and up only. We are going to be going to the Bahamas and Key West. You'll have a meet and greet with me. I'm having a Q&A on Sunday morning. My travel agent is going to come answer any questions. If y'all want to join, it's not too late. It's my birthday next month, so we're going to celebrate on the high seas. And then lastly, if you're in Atlanta or want to come to Atlanta, I am hosting a dining masterclass in partnership with Neiman Marcus in their private dining room here in Atlanta. I will teach and you will eat. It is a 5-course meal over 4 hours. So champagne reception with hors d'oeuvres, a starter, a main course, dessert, tea and coffee, bread, everything. So I'm going to show you ladies how to have elegant table manners. Gentlemen, if your lady's a little bit rough around the edges, you can send her my way. That one, the discount code is Maggie, and you have the option to upgrade it to a spa afterwards. I have a penthouse spa next to Neiman Marcus that we're going to go and relax afterwards. That's going to be on Saturday, December 7th. All right. So that's everything I've got going on. Thank you all so much again for being here. Jobless says, loaded with good advice. You need to come back more often. Happy to help. Suave D says, preach Maggie. I'm trying. Thank you so much. Living Out Loud says, good morning, Maggie and chat. I just sent my man a list of things that I admire about him. I love that. Action immediately. I had not done that in a while. Thank you for the reminder. I'm sure he will appreciate it. I'm sure he will too. All right, everyone. So enjoy your Wednesday. Maggie, the substitute teacher on all platforms. Follow me to the airport and to Texas. And I'll see you all tomorrow for maybe another cooking stream or whatever we do. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you again, Rabbi Friedman. Bye, everyone.